Hope everybody's doing well. Here we are, day 15 of the vlog. And lots of great feedback from yesterday's video where I started talking about the news that Bandcamp is banning AI from its platform, AI-generated music. And there are a couple comments that bring up some questions like, what does that look like? Is it going to be AI monitoring the platform for AI music, or humans, or how is that going to be policed? Because humans always seem to find ways around the loop. And I think inherently AI isn't bad. It's just a tool, and it's how we use those tools that ultimately influence or affect our interpretation of the value. Being creative, I think, is one of our human abilities to be inspired, to see different things and connect them creatively and put them in our art. AI is an incredible tool. It's basically a word processor on steroids. I don't think AI is inherently bad, but rather how we as humans choose to use it. It does seem alarming that AI is attempting to replace humanity's artistic output with a facsimile of the sum total of our work. That's all it is. It's just a facsimile, a representation of the optimal standard of everything, the pattern behind the definition of that particular piece of art. What are we choosing to replace in our creative process with AI generation? What we choose to value as human in our creative process, can that be reproduced? What are we seeking to express when we create art? For a lot of creative people, why we choose to be creative and what we hope to get from it are innately human things. I don't think an AI cares if it's creative or not. It's simply serving you up the sum total of humanity's work optimized for your particular prompt. The definition of creative is producing or using original and unusual ideas. Can an AI have original ideas? My video yesterday was pointing out the copyright issues around fair use and the exploration of ownership of intellectual property as I try to build a picture of the legalities of some of the AI systems and the data that they've obtained. The AI is trained on human information, visual art, music, literary works. How do those creators get compensated? The deal that I was pointing out yesterday between Suno, Udio, and the major labels is allowing for them to train on that data. And that's problematic on some level, but a further conversation worth having. But I think how we use it, just like anything, I suppose, really. You could argue guns are bad. If you're surviving in the bush, suddenly a gun is maybe a good thing. I'm not a fan of guns, but that's an entirely separate story. I think that AI tools used right may unlock more creativity for you. I think that when we look at our computers and the software that allow us to create, that's already magic wizardry. And I think that we lose sight sometimes of the larger picture, which is our innate desire to want to create, to have meaningful musical experiences, to create journeys and stories that can move and emote for other people. I think that music is our emotional diary of our experiences. It's certainly the fire that brings people together in gatherings. Playing beats to make people dance is an incredible experience. Watching people entrain and sync up and find the same groove, it's really special. I think it taps into something ancient in us and our need to connect, our want to be a part of something, and music really lets us do that. I think that our desire to create comes from a deeper place inside of us. And I was watching a video the other day, and the fellow said, so if your studio was completely destroyed, would you rebuild or would you walk away? If your choice was to rebuild, well, you're probably an artist. You're probably someone who has a passion to do this and a drive to do it that transcends many other reasons. It lets us feel like we fit in. It validates our existence. It's something where you can put in a lot of hard work. You make a special song, and then when people respond to it and enjoy it, it brings a really warm feeling to the heart. And those moments of being the first one to view or perceive the creation, the first one to witness the new landscape. I know myself, this is one of the reasons I'm always excited to create new material, is to experience these things. And I think that's an innately human experience. I don't think the AI cares whether it creates or doesn't create. It's just responding to prompts with equations. About 5 years ago, a friend had posted a video about what's it worth, and I was really moved by what she said, and so I just want to share a little clip of my response to that, because I think when I made it, I wasn't even really thinking about AI. I was thinking about music in the context of the music collection. And I think that was a fundamental part of people's identity, in a way, was their music collection, what they found and collected and kept as an archive. And now we just have the collective human works at a beck and call. And I think we've lost that subtle curation. We've handed over the curation of our music to the algorithm. And for a lot of people, we just listen to what comes down the pipe. There seems to be a devaluing of music just from the sheer volume of it. And I think the AI music and its 30, 40,000 songs a day hitting the streaming services, the dilution of humanity's art and creativity with photocopies and facsimiles, that to me is saddening. And it does beg sometimes the question, what's the point? Why even bother? I certainly struggle with this. But when you play an original song to a crowd of people and they connect with it, and the message and the vibration, I think that's a human thing, and I don't think the AI will replace that. When someone you totally admire and respect comes up and tells you that piece is your opus, that it moved them, and you hear these genuine words that you know it's legit, certainly why I feel like I need to keep going. But we need to have conversations about AI and art and what it is to be human, and how we create sustainable economies so that creative people can find ways to continue to support themselves, to be creative, because I think these are the things in society that we really value, the things that make life worth living, the handmade pottery that you have your breakfast in, the music that you listen to that moves your soul, the beautiful clothing that you wear that you know is being made by another human and love has gone into it. These are the things that I think that we're gonna even more value and become aware of. And I think the bar has raised now in terms of what truly human art represents and how we are moved and engaged by it. I can see how people could be using AI tools to supplement their musical development, creating samples, coming up with different perspectives. And I think that if you prompt intelligently, you may still be able to leverage these tools in positive ways. I do believe that just asking the AI to create a country song for you, for example, or a techno song or something, you're going to get a pretty generic result. That's the result of human musical history. Is that you? Does it have your personal touch? I don't think so. Maybe if you listen to 100 of them and picked your favorite one, that might introduce back a little bit of your flavor, but it's still just a photocopy of the sum total of human work. It's not original, and I think that more so than ever, our originality is going to be what people are drawn to, our humanity. The live experience of watching human beings listen to each other and play together, I think that's still a ways away from being replaced. I think that people that put festivals together and invite musicians from all over the place and get them to collaborate and play music together, I think that's where the special magic still will be. And I celebrate all the promoters, all the festival bookers, all the people that do events and bring people together. You're important. So I'm kind of rambling, and I don't have maybe the clearest brain to present all these disparate ideas, but I just wanted to share my perspectives as we continue this conversation. I know as an artist, I definitely feel the doom and gloom of the AI onslaught, but I really feel like more so than ever, it's the human created art that comes from blood, sweat, and tears, from a lifetime of devoting yourself to your instrument, learning how to play it, learning how to bend the rules on what you can do with your instrument, and creating for the love and the joy of it. So I'm going to share this little video that I made the other day, and I'd love to keep this conversation going because I think it's really important. This is what I said. But I think there's something more important. The making of a talisman, making of something magical and putting it out into the world, the unknown effect that it has. And when you put your love and intention into this art and send it out into the world, I think that it really, it does more than you can comprehend. And I do believe that in the big planet, people still do appreciate art and music and want to find ways to support it and connect with it. It's the invisible lifeblood of the planet. It's what keeps humans going. I really believe music is our vibrational story, and we have to preserve and protect it, especially the gifted people who are being squeezed and squashed. They're not business people. They have these amazing gifts, and they can turn vibration into compelling stories and encapsulate wisdom and information in a time that I think is even more important than that happens. So what do? How do we continue to support the arts, each other, and what we do, and we keep these vibrations going out into the world, keep us all from losing our shit, because it certainly feels like we're being tested on it, that's for sure. The creation of a talisman, I think that's one of the points that still resonates. We're creating magical pieces of work that go out into the world and vibrate, and people connect to them, have life-changing experiences, memories, the joy. That's why we do it. And so I want to thank you all for continuing to support my music and the creative adventure of almost 40 years now through these communities all around the world. I've been invited to play, and I really appreciate it. I'm crafting a bunch of new material now for some amazing artists that I can't wait to share, and I've got lots of ways that you can support me. I haven't quite gone as far as creating a Patreon style approach, but I think I might even find ways to generate something there as we continue to look for ways to create sustainable relationships with the fans. We know that the streaming models aren't really paying us, and we want to keep creating music. I know most of the artists that I know love what they do, and they're on this path for, the right reasons and want to survive making their art. And it's you, the fans, that keep supporting it. And here are lots of ways. I'm going to share you my merch page again. If you want to buy a hoodie or some sort of water bottle or fun little thing, I've got a page that you can look at. And, I encourage you to go to my website, sonicturtlemusic.com, and buy some music from Bandcamp, buy some merch, help us continue to create. Love you all.